Hello. Well, this is not a studio, this is just my kitchen table. But I wanted to show my collection of what are commonly and derisively called mouse guns. Mouse gun is a term used for 25 and 32 ACP pistols. Well, I don't have any 25s, but I have a lot of 32s. This is my collection with one exception of 32s. So I thought I'd show them off. First of all, this and this are Mauser Model 1914s. I got this one first, and then I bought this one. This one's in much better shape than this one. This one took a little bit of gunsmithing to get it even functional, and it still has a few issues. This one works fine. I swapped magazines because, because this magazine came with the better pistol, but it's a funky magazine. This magazine came with the bad pistol, but it's a better magazine. Model of 1914. Now, let's go back about 7 more years. This is an American Model 1907 Savage. You'll notice that it has steel grips. It has the old style. I'm going to show you, by the way, how this comes apart. This is kind of fun. You grab this is the cocking piece. This is not a hammer. It's a cocking piece for a striker. Turn it sideways, pull it out, then drop the safety, pull the trigger to drop the sear, and barrel and the slide come apart, and that's it. You can take it to a more detailed script, but that's basically how it's done. Now let me show you another weird one. This is a 1907 Dreyse. Just a second, let me get a tool. Oh boy. It lives in this case, and there it is. I always keep a fired 45-70 case around. You'll see why. A Dreyse, by the way, by legend, this was the holdout gun that Baron von Richthofen carried. He had a Luger on his belt, but he had this in a breast pocket holster as his hideout gun. It's just a 32, but I guess for a pilot that's about enough. Huh? Anyway, the way it works is, remember now, at the time this was made, Colt had the patent on the slide. So pistols with a slide were verboten. So you see, this is not a slide, it's just a cocking piece, and the actual breech is integral to the pistol. Uses a striker. The striker sticks out the rear. To take it apart though, cock it, drop something into here. The way this is designed is this little lip on the end of the magazine is supposed to fit in the catch right here, or excuse me, right here, and that's supposed to be how you disassemble it, but it doesn't work very well. This, on the other hand, does work. What you do is you disengage. Oh, come on now. It's been years since I've taken this sucker apart. And maybe it's just going to be fussy about it. You disengage the spring from the engagement. Well, anyway, the way it works, I can't really show you because it won't come apart. But this whole section here pivots up. And you can then do whatever cleaning is needed. If you have one of these, get one of these. Now, let's try this one. This is kind of fun. This is a Sauer und Schön. That's what it says on it. I think it's a model of 1914 or 1915. I'm not sure. S&S. Before Sig Sauer, there was S&S. And this little tiny gem was a pocket pistol that was used mainly as a backup pistol by detectives of police in Bavaria. Fun gun. I picked this up. Finding the magazine for this was somewhat difficult. Numera Jones had one left. I bought it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oh, if you're James Bond, Walther PPK. Not in the best of shape. This grip is cracked here. So, and you can't get these new grips for love nor money anymore. But I thought of ways of maybe repairing this. Anyway, but this is a gun I bought many years ago. I gave it to my dad because he didn't have a pistol at the time. And I'd forgotten that until he passed, and I found it in his bedside table. Anyway, you know how the Walther works. You cock it, make sure it's unloaded, then lift the top right off like that. It's a relatively easy gun to disassemble. The catch is actually the trigger guard is the catch that holds it together. This is such a good design for a pistol. You may notice this one and this one were loaded. It's such a good design that the Czechs decided to copy it. And this is, I think it's called a VZ80. I think. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is the VZ70. This is a Czechoslovakian copy of the Walther PP, which is the big cousin of this one. Works relatively the same way. There's a takedown button on this one, but it's a blowback, simple 32 auto. One more 32. This one. This is a link pattern Warner Infallible. And it was made by the Warner Davis Corporation, a firearms company. Earlier made by just Warner and later by Warner, but for a time Warner had merged with the Davis Corporation that made shotguns, and they sold these. Warner was the importer of another pistol called the Schwarz-Losa. And the interesting thing about the Schwarz-Losa is it's a blow-forward design. They're also kind of rare these days. I'd love to have one, but oh well. When the Schwarz-Losas ran out, the company went bankrupt. Warner bought up the existing stock in hopes of continuing manufacture here in the U.S. That didn't work out. He ended up with a whole bunch of parts that he couldn't do anything else with, so he made this as a replacement. There's a good Forgotten Weapons video on this if you're interested. I don't have this to shoot because this is not what you'd call a shooter. It's a very difficult gun to, it has a potential for the whole bolt. So the bolt thing here comes back. And the only thing that holds it really in place is this pin. Earlier models had a little lever here. And if that lever were to hit your finger or to shake loose during recoil, that means that there would be nothing holding this bolt from coming right back into your face. So no, I'm a little wary of shooting this thing, but I have it because it's an interesting design. I mean, it's just a fascinating. I mean, take a look at the narrow profile of the thing here, and it's top heavy. I've heard it's an extremely uncomfortable gun to shoot. I've never shot this. I never intend to shoot this, but I have it. I've told my son, who's the only one who possibly inherit this, that don't shoot it. It's just not really a safe gun to shoot, but as a collectible, it's quite interesting. Now, the one other gun I have is, this is a 380. I have two 380s. This is the VZ80. The VZ80 is kind of a fun gun. It was developed by the Czechs just before World War II. The problem is that as soon as they developed it, along comes Germany, claims the Sudetenland, and then claims Czechoslovakia, and everybody let them get away with it. And when they walked into the Brno factory and said, okay, what are you working on right now? They said, well, we've got this. And they said, oh, good, keep making those. And they issued these predominantly to officers on the Eastern Front, not to officers on the Western Front. So the Western Front officers never, when they got captured, they didn't have these. They had Lugers or P-38s on them. But the Eastern Front guys would have these. So Russians might have these in their collections, but not so much Americans. I find it kind of interesting that I have one. It's considered an extremely ugly gun, but it's very robust. It's just a blowback 380, but it's a wonderful little weapon. Anyway, that's what I have in mouse guns. I have some, I'm lusting after a few more, but well, right now I don't have the capital for it, but oh well, it's a fun hobby.